what's up? It's David Duford here at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance professionals. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we are going to talk about the oft asked and concerning topic we all really should give time and consideration to, which is selling on value versus price when it comes to selling insurance. So what we're going to talk about is really how to differentiate a sales presentation that's based off of delivering the value that the client really needs over selling on price alone. My hope is that up to this point that you understand the basics of what it's like to sell on price, the idea behind it. All one has to really think about is the idea of Walmart. Walmart has no value proposition beyond being a low price leader as well as having selection too. But beyond that, as far as differentiation in unique products or the capability of service, it definitely does not offer its clients. So when you're in the insurance business, the problem is if you have a price-minded mentality, to an extent, if that's all you care about, you will be undercut by whomever your competition is. And this is especially true as you climb the ladder of more advanced products, where it's not just the product that matters, it's also the brains and the design behind it in order to solve the client's problems as what really matters and what the client is really paying for. So the one thing I'll start off with is that although most of my conversation today is going to be talking about why value is more important than price and why you should focus on it and how to, price matters, but not really that much. Everybody is concerned about the price, right? Everybody asks about the price. You probably go through your life and make propositions or judgments based off of what the price entails. And price, to an extent, does show value. Certainly, if you're going to buy a sales program that was $9,000, you'd probably think it might be more valuable, at least on the face of it, than the one that goes for $9. The point is that price does exhibit some type of value, but the price itself doesn't really matter that much. As long as you're targeting your product with the right market and you learn how to connect what the problems that the clients have with how your product solves their issues. It provides the solutions. Again, this is hard for a lot of insurance agents out there, especially if all you've sold are one-off transactional type products. But people have, real big problems sometimes, and insurance will solve their problem. And if you can demonstrate how the insurance product solves it, even though you may think, geez, I would never buy something this expensive, you can't portray your values on your clients and what they are what their opinion is. So the point is that, yeah, you got to be mindful of price, but don't let that be the end-all driver in how you organize and cultivate the sale. So let me give you a couple of reasons why, as an insurance agent, you should focus on value in your presentation and appeal to how your appeal to your client, how your product solves your client's problems that they have and how it is ultimately the best solution. So first of all, if you appeal to these clients like that and you realize that value is the key to doing so, the truth is that value buyers are better clients. There's an old saying that applies so much in life, and if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And if in business you live by price, you die by price. If your thought is that I should appeal to the low price crowd, the problem is that there are people out there and they will buy a low price, but you are really just as meaningless as the next guy, and the only reason that there is any business done is because of the number, not the value given. And as soon as someone else comes behind you and offers a slightly better price on said product, you might be pretty much out of the game entirely and get your price or your policy replaced. So appealing to those buyers are the worst buyers. They don't refer as often, they're not as committed, they're not as loyal, and they're not going to be really the most enjoyable experience. They're the ones that care least about the value proposition you have and tend to be the ones that will completely jettison you as soon as something slightly better comes across. You don't want those if you can help it. And again, people who are going to appreciate a value-oriented sales presentation are the ones that have problems and that can look beyond price and understand on some level that price, sure, it matters, but what matters is how well do you solve the problems. I can think of a couple of examples. Unfortunately, I think Americans went down the low price is king road, and in many industries, it sacrificed quality. If you look at manufactured goods from China, especially even today, toys and cheap crap like that breaks constantly. This is the price that we have paid for wanting outsourced goods produced at slave level labor wages, and we get an inferior product out of it. And I think that's dangerous to bring into a profession where really our clients are really motivated by value. They want to have valuable products that solve their problems. And they want to work, and this is the other element too, with people who exude value, agents who exude value, that can help craft a plan based on what their needs are. And again, that's another element you have to consider. And again, price is a value quick test. We've already talked about that. The idea that price does demonstrate value. And because your price is higher doesn't mean it's necessarily the worst deal. Again, you've got to be able to convey value within that price, which is, again, the goal that we have to deliver. So how do you actually do all this? Maybe you think that you can see that being a value-added agent and giving a value-added presentation is important. Well, how do you do this in the realm of maybe your product's a commodity, maybe it's something that is not necessarily super unique? Well, there are still ways to do it. And what I want to talk about here is really how you can sell yourself better. You see, I think in the insurance world, our products are ancillary to us, meaning what matters most in your sales presentations is selling yourself. It's selling why they should do business with you. And understand that you are the only person like you. And your value proposition is entirely unique. What you bring to the table is completely different than other agents would do. And you need to believe that and deliver on that. And what you're going to find is that is the best way to differentiate yourself in the insurance business. Not to stand by a brand, a company, or a brand name, but to stand on your own personal brand and sell yourself strongly, bigly even, and watch the results come in. So let's talk about what you can do to enhance your own value in the eyes of your clients and how you can contract more business from it as well. So the first is, I believe, you've got to be a problem solver. You can't come in and just pitch and dump. Sure, you'll make sales that way, but you won't make strong bonds. And you certainly won't keep and get the best clients who need more than just somebody to pitch them. And one of the best ways you can do that is to ask open-ended questions. So I believe an effective salesperson doesn't come in and just pitch. He comes in and he's genuinely curious about what makes this prospect tick. What is this current situation as it relates to how your product solves problems? And is there a way that you can help them solve some kind of product, whether they're aware of it or not, and help improve their lives in relation to what your insurance product does? So what questions you ask totally depend upon the products that you sell, but they must be related. They must be emotional. They can be certainly fact-driven and logical, but some of the best questions to ask are the ones that drive at the emotion of why one would own life insurance or whatever insurance that you're selling. So my recommendation is just do your research, look at some insurance sales book for sales ideas. You can even go to my website and put in Google insurance sales questions, and you'll get my page, which should come up in one of the top 10. And there's like 21 different questions that you can ask that really help progress the sale and drive out more opportunity. And again, you really got to dig deep into your client's problems. Ben Feldman said it best, legendary New York life insurance agent. You have to ask disturbing questions, not just any questions, but disturbing questions. You, as a life insurance agent, play a really interesting role, kind of like a financial advisor. Your clients are going to tell you things about themselves that no other person's going to know, like their actual health, the problems that have happened in their lives, their money problems, things like that. And it's incumbent upon you, if you want to get the best connection with your clients, but also be able to offer the best products, is to really ask those disturbing questions to get at the core of what is going on with this client of yours and what you really need to do to help them out to give them the best value. And number 3, only focus your presentation on how your product solves their problems and nothing else. This is a really important component to giving any kind of insurance sales presentation. I really want you to take this one to heart. One of the things that irritates the hell out of me, if I'm talking to an agent or if I'm doing a ride along with an agent and I see them just pitching and selling and pushing, and they literally exhaust everything that they have about their particular product, and they do so blindly to what really matters to the prospect. And here's the thing: it doesn't matter if you're selling final expense insurance or if you're selling advanced estate planning. There typically are only 3 to 5 things that you need to uncover as being the core hot buttons behind why your prospects buy. And you have to discover this in the discovery period, or otherwise the pre-qualification period, so that once you know what really, through the emotional, the disturbing questions, you know what the emotional hot buttons are, then you can go back to those. And in your actual presentation, where you're explaining what your product does and how it solves their problems, you can go back to those things that were mentioned earlier, those important elements that really matter to the client. Like for example, in final expense, a common theme is people don't want to be a burden to people they love. They have a sense of obligation to relieve the stress of final expenses on their loved ones. They want peace of mind. They don't want to worry about this. They want to do their family right. These are all emotionally charged reasons why people buy burial insurance. And we have to take what we do, which is sell them a burial insurance policy, and explain it to them in plain English that this is the way you solve your problem. This is the way that you get peace of mind. This is the way that you relieve the stress. And you don't leave your children off. You leave them the right way. And you take care of your final affairs and get that peace of mind that you want. This is how you sell this. And you show them, in the way we do this is because your rates never go up. Your coverage never cancels. You're fully covered from the first day. Ultra peace of mind. Your problems are solved. And that will connect incredibly, as opposed to, say, talking about mundane parts of the company and how long, what AM Best rating they are. Most people don't care. Also things like the cash value, or looking at cash value tables and getting logical on the sale. You don't want to do that stuff. You want to connect emotionally. And if you can do that, it makes such a better job out of what you do. It makes you sell more. So I hope that gives you some ideas on how to sell value. I think it comes down, bottom line, to selling yourself and understanding that you have to develop yourself as a salesperson. You have to become much like Columbo or a detective and know what questions to ask to dig, and not be afraid to ask the tough questions, the disturbing questions even. Because your clients, although they may be disturbed, will appreciate that you've taken the time to think through every detail of their personal financial lives and insurance-related concerns, and ask them these questions they've probably never been answered before, and allow them to give them pause and thought about what their circumstances are. And they're going to want to do more business with you because, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He understands how to get to the core things, and he's concerned about helping me solve my problems. That's how you do it, and that's how you add value. David Duford, davidduford.com. See you later.